think that I fixed the volume, and so I'm going to give a little bit of time for people to show up and let me know whether or not that is true. Yay. All right. Yay, can you hear me, Patricia? Let me know. Awesome. Perfect. All right, good. I get a second take. That first one wasn't very good anyway, so everything happens for a reason. Cool. Glad to be back, and I'm glad that the volume is working. All right, let's get started. I chose to do a practice oriented towards the core and the hips because these are the parts of our body that are associated with the will, the instinctive moving center, and I don't know about you guys, but I kind of feel like, given all the uncertainty in the air, this kind of churning and this unsettledness in those areas of my body that are associated with survival instincts and associated with fear, anxiety, scarcity. And so the best way that I know of, one of the best ways that I know of to deal with circumstances like this is to simply tend to those energies, to pay attention to those aspects of ourselves. And so we're going to tend to the parts of the physical body that correspond with the fight or flight instinct. And we're going to support and stabilize, and then we're going to release. And then last thing I'll say before we start is that 100% of the donations tonight are going to go into a fund for our teachers to support them during this time. So thank you for being so supportive. And okay, second to last, or real last thing that I'll say before we get started, and that's that I was in a Zoom group meeting this morning. I'm a part of this program called the Spiritual Journey, and we have Zoom meetings once a week. And we were on there prior to this quarantine thing. And one of the people on the group said, I don't like using the term social distancing because I don't feel socially distant from everyone. It's physical distancing, not social distancing. And I thought that was very true because I'm feeling very connected to humanity right now, just in a different way. And it was very refreshing for me to hear that. Okay, so go ahead and come into a nice, comfortable seat and rest your hands in your lap, close your eyes or soften your gaze, and begin to breathe deeply in any way that you like. Bring your awareness to your breath and allow the awareness of your breath to ground you in your body, on your mat, wherever you are. For this portion of the practice, I invite you to do the breathing. Actively breathe. And as we get into the poses, I'll invite you to allow yourself to be breathed. But for now, do the breathing. And notice how when you breathe in, there's an expansion away from your spine, out in all directions, out to the sides of your ribs, your abdomen. And as you exhale, feel that energetic quality of hugging back on towards the midline. And as you inhale, root down all the way into the soles of your feet, sit up taller. And as you exhale, keep the lift, but soften your skin. And then bring your hands together in front of your heart into Anjali Mudra. Press your hands intentionally into each other and notice the different sensation in your hands, your arms, your shoulders, between the left and the right side. Just feel the subtle difference. And now gather your attention back at the center where your hands are pressing together. And let your shoulders just relax a bit here. And then take a moment and consent to your own inherent goodness. And when I invite you to consent in this way to your own inherent goodness, even if you don't feel like it's true or believe that it's true, imagine that it is. Allow yourself to feel that, allow your body to experience that. What would it feel like if you were inherently good? Let this quality of inherent goodness underlie your practice this evening. Bow your head to your hands in a gesture of reverence towards yourself. Lower your hands onto your legs. Lift your chin and open your eyes. All right, so go ahead and lie down on your belly. Moving right into some hip work. So lying here on your belly, go ahead and just get comfortable and relax. So you make a pillow for your head with your hands and just kind of chill out. We are going to do a recruitment exercise that I learned from Christina Sell, and I just love it. And so this exercise isn't about like lifting your legs really high or doing anything really good. It's more about connecting your attention to the sensation associated with an action. And so the first action is just to lift your right leg up off the ground. And now with your right leg hovering up off the ground, just nice and straight, feel what's required to keep your leg lifting. Notice what has to engage and has to stabilize, has to act. And I'll tell you that I am feeling that in my right glute a whole bunch. So if you hear me cue glute or right glute, at any time in practice, I'm referring to this sensation right here. Okay, put your leg down and let's do the second side. So lift your left leg up, straight left leg. So this is going to be left glute. Feel the action of left glute, your hip stabilizing. This work right here is really good because for a lot of us who sit a lot, our glutes fall asleep, and the neuromuscular connection to glute max at the base of your left glute that's working so hard right now kind of falls asleep if we don't do this work. So feel that and go ahead and relax. Okay, let's do right glute. Lift the leg. And then from here, bend your knee and bring your heel all the way to your hip and keep your leg lifting. Woo! So feel that action of your glute lifting your thigh bone and your hamstring bending your knee. So this action that you're feeling is going to be referred to in this practice as hamstring. All right, release. Second side, we're going to do glute and then hamstring. Feel glute and hamstring working harmoniously together to stabilize the back chain of your left leg. And, whew, it's a little fiery. All right, and then relax your leg. Okay, and let's do right glute. And then do hamstring. Keep glute and hamstring. So this is a tricky one. You're going to keep glute and hamstring and add in quad. And so when you tone the top of your thigh, it straightens your leg, but you keep your glute and your hamstring firing along with quad. Now feel those three seemingly opposing actions working harmoniously together, and tighten around your right kneecap so you do a little more quad. All right, and then put your leg back down. Do glute on the left side, and then hamstring. Keep glute and hamstring, and now add in quad. Quadzilla. Ooh, what a beast. All right. You should be feeling a dull ache at the base of your left butt. And did you know you had a left butt? That's the thing that's aching right now. Now tighten around your kneecap. Feel those three actions working harmoniously together. And place your leg back down. Whew. Good. And shake from side to side. Maybe tap your feet. So let's do that work, maybe without setting up in the steps, to do a little cobra pose. Just a belly down back bend. So I'm going to do glute, hamstring, and quad at the same time. I'm going to stretch the arches of my feet real quick. All right, and then untuck your toes. Keep your kneecaps lifted the whole time. Place your hands down in line with your low ribs, keeping your legs active, your glutes turned on. Tone the sides of your waist and lift your chest. Check back in with your legs. Do glute, hamstring, and quad, and then make your side body long. And then take your side body back. And then lift your chin and press your throat back. All right. Come on down. And roll over onto your back. Whew. I'm already sweating, but I was sweating before we even started doing poses, just from the heat of these lights and perhaps a little nervousness. But here we go. Stack your legs in such a way that your knees are over your hips and your shins are parallel with the floor. And then see if you can't do glute, hamstrings without moving the legs, and quads. Just get that sensation going. And I'll start by just flexing and then pointing the feet. Flexing the feet, pointing the feet, flexing and pointing. And then see if when you started to move your feet, did you lose the awareness of the stability of your hips. Keep your hips nice and stable. And flex and point your feet. This portion of the class is going to be brought to you by the influence of Mrs. Jen Wooten. I love her core work. It's wonderful. So if you could stay here, laying down, we'll go ahead and let's come to like a point with the feet. And if you like, roll your head up off the ground, interlace your hands behind your head. Now keep doing your work in your legs. reach your elbows up at about a 45-degree angle, and maybe try to get your shoulder blades up off the ground. And now hold your left leg stable, left side body stable, and just touch your right foot to the ground, keeping your knee bent. And then squeeze it back up, and then do the left side. So your left foot touches the ground, squeeze back up, right side, bring it down, and up. And then the left side, bring it on back up, and then the right side. Good. And the left. All right, let's do both legs at the same time. So feel when you touch your feet to the ground with your legs and hips nice and active. Tone the sides of your waist just a bit, but you'll feel it more in the back body. And your ribs can splay open, and this is core work right here. It's back body engagement, front body opening, with the side body still toned. Pull your heels isometrically towards your hips. That'll keep that glute action going. And then as you exhale, squeeze your knees back up and let your low back curve flatten out. Draw your navel straight down and take your rib cage down as well. So now feel this as front body toned, back body open. Now hover your feet, open the front body, let it feel nice and good. This is kind of like saying yes, nice and open, and then kind of like saying no. You squeeze the knees back up, draw your navel straight down, and draw your low ribs down as well. We're going to do that 2 more times. Hover your heels, let your front body open. It's kind of like a cat-cow. And then squeeze your knees back up. Last one. And back up again. Okay. Set your feet on the ground. Heel toe your feet out mat's width distance apart. Make your inner knees touch. And then drop your knees over to the right. Take your right foot, if this feels good, take your right foot and bring it onto your outer left thigh. And now do glutes, hamstrings, quad. Press your right foot into your left thigh and then drag your foot away from your hip crease. Give yourself a little psoas hip flexor stretch. Keep your legs and core nice and engaged. So perhaps with your next kind of natural exhale, remember now you're being breathed, allowing your breath to flow. On the next natural exhale, draw the sides of your waist onto your spine and support that area of your body, just like you're supporting your hips and your legs. All right, and then remove your foot. Bring your knees back to center and take them over to the second side. If it feels good, place your left foot on your outer right thigh. Flexing your feet here is a good way to just keep awareness in your legs. And there's a nice engagement around the knee that could potentially be protecting it. All right, do glutes, hamstrings, quads. Tone the sides of your waist and then drag your left foot forward. And hopefully it feels really nice on your outer left hip. And remove your foot, come back to center, hug your knees in towards your chest, and then rock up and down the length of your spine. Come up to a nice seat. Bring your arms into cactus arms, and then we're going to do a little bit of just a hand warm up. And there's like an energetic quality to it that I really like. So go ahead and say yes with your hands. It's like an opening up, reaching out, and then say no. So like fists, closed off, yes and no, the balance. So say yes and say no. And say yes, and no, and yes, and no, yes, and no, yes, and no, Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Good. We're just moving the hands here. So now come to yes. Douglas Brooks has a cool teaching about intimacy, and he says that like if there's too much yes, too much permission, there's a lack of intimacy. And if there's too much no, then there's also a lack of intimacy. And in this practice, we're striving towards a deeper level of intimacy with ourselves and the physical body. And so the way that you can embody that with your hands is to say yes and then say no a little bit. So it's a yes and no with the hands. And this yes and no quality is the quality that you want to bring into every pose where your hands are down on the ground. So take that yes, no quality into tabletop position. Spread your fingers, claw the ground, make your inner hand heavy, and then feel as though you're turning two dials away from one another. So you'll keep your inner hand heavy, but turn the eyes of your elbows forward. And you should feel your lats turn on when you do that, or if you don't, you will eventually. Okay, and then now on the right side, do glute. Lift your right leg up. Just work the glute, and then do hamstring, and then keep glute and hamstring, and add in quad. So boom, that's a strong leg. And then with your left toes curled under, go up to tripod down dog. Good. And let's just affirm those three engagements here. So we've got glute, hamstring, quad. Awesome. And then come forward into a three-legged plank or modified plank. And then slowly lower onto your belly. Bring your right leg down. Untuck your toes. Let's do cobra pose. Make your legs strong. Lift your chest. With your chest lifted, tone your legs. Side body long. Side body back. Lift your chin. Press your throat back. Nice. Come on down. Awesome. And then press back to child's pose. Here in child's pose, allow yourself to experience the quality of this pose, the intimacy and the inwardness of this shape. And come back up into tabletop. And lift your left leg by doing glute on the left side. Add in hamstring. And then keep glute and hamstring. And go quad. So tighten around your kneecap. Curl your right toes under. Go up to tripod down dog. Then inner hand heavy. Externally rotate your shoulders. Glute, hamstring, quad. Three-legged plank. Modified plank if you like. Lower onto your belly. Bring your left leg down. Untuck your toes. Scoot back a little bit. Interlace your hands behind your back. And before you come up, tone your legs. Press down through the tops of your feet. Keep your legs and hips strong, belly strong. Lift your chest. Good, and keeping the lower body and the abdomen strong, make your side body long, take your side body back, press your knuckles back, lift your chin. Release your hands, bring them down, do a little cobra, and come back down and rest. All right, curl your toes under, inhale and make your legs strong, exhale and press to plank. Inhale and plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Woo. All right. Now, as you inhale, look forward. And exhale, walk on up to the top of your mat. Come on into Uttanasana. Bend your knees enough to put your fingertips on the ground and your belly on your thighs. I invite you to stand with your feet hips width distance apart. And as you can see, I have a generous bend in my knees. And that's just because my hamstrings are tight right now. All right, root down through the four corners of your feet. And even here, do glutes, hamstring. You can really feel that by dragging your heels isometrically back. And then when you do quads, it kind of straightens your legs a little bit. And now, lengthen your spine. Bring your hands onto your hips. Point your elbows up. Press your feet down. Stand up and relax. Your arms alongside your body. Palms facing forward. If you'd like, close your eyes and reconnect with your breath. What I'm noticing here is that after all that work, especially those belly down back bends, I find that it's difficult to be the breather. I feel as though I'm being breathed. With the inhale, radiate energetically out towards the periphery of your skin. And with your exhale, crawl back towards the midline, hugging the sides of your waist onto your spine. And inhale, root down through your feet, reach up through your arms. With your arms in the overhead plane here, do external rotation. When you externally rotate your arms when they're in the overhead plane, your shoulder blades wing apart, and it's kind of counterintuitive, right? Because when you externally rotate your arms in this plane, they squeeze together. But when you're up in this plane, they wing apart. So keep your shoulder blades winging apart, it's nice and hollow, and then turn your hands, palms facing forward. Do glutes, hamstring, quad, tone the sides of your waist, and do a little pull-up bar action. Open, say yes, and reach up. And then as you exhale, fold forward. As you inhale, lengthen your spine. And then exhale and step your left foot back into a lunge. So bend your right knee over your right ankle. And spike up your back heel really high. So you can really feel glute and hamstring when you dig your right heel down into the ground and drag it back. And now do more quad on your left leg, so tighten around your left kneecap. And with your legs strong and stable, twist your right arm up towards the sky. Hug the midline with your outer right hip. And then from your hips to your feet, root down. Lengthen the crown of your head forward. Exhale and twist deeper. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, touch the ground. Place your back knee down. And straighten your front leg, half splits. Pull your toes back, and then press your heel down and drag it back. And you can feel how that action of isometrically pulling your right heel back tones around your glute. So it does that glute and hamstring action for you. And then when you add in quad, it kind of straightens your leg a little bit. Whew. All right, wowzer. Okay, rebend into lunge. Curl your back toes under, lift your back knee. Step your left foot up to meet your right. Inhale and lengthen your spine. And then exhale and step your right foot back. All right. What I try to do in lunge is make the front shin vertical and the back foot vertical. Now do your glute and hamstring and quad. Remember, dragging your left heel isometrically back will help you find those actions. Do more quad on your right leg and then tone your waistline. Twist your left arm up. Hug the midline with your outer left hip. Root your feet down and apart. Lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist deeper. Inhale. Reach up with your fingertips on your left hand. Exhale, touch the ground, back knee down, straighten your front leg, slide your heel forward, point your toes up, press your heel down and drag it back. You could even squeeze your right knee and left heel towards each other. Feel that for a second. And now keep that going. And what happens when you keep the sensation associated with that squeezing going, like a hug on, and then do the other way with it. Press your heel forward and your right knee back. Tighten your quad more on your left leg. Woo! Okay. Rebend into lunge. Go your back toes under, lift your back knee. Step your right foot up to meet your left. And fold. Notice energy flowing down your legs. I'm going to check the time on this thing. All right, 30 minutes. Good. Cheers, y'all. So here we are in Uttanasana. And let's take it into a variation of yogi squat where you bring your feet together, lift your heels up, and get a little. So heels up, feet together. Bring your triceps into your shins as best you can. And now press your arms back and your shins forward. And maybe that feels nice for your hips. And hey, while you're here, do a little glute, hamstring, quad. Let's strengthen your legs. Tone your belly. Relax your face. Invite a deeper breath. All right, and sit on down. And then prop yourself up like so. Woo. And then let's catch a little Navasana. So start with your knees bent. Hold onto the back of your thighs. And then take your low back in and shoulders back. So low back in, chest up. Squeeze your legs together. Glutes, hamstring, and then maybe add in quads. Whew, that made my low back not go in. So as best you can, you could keep your knees bent or do legs straight and low back in, chest up, legs high, gaze is slightly up, and relax. Whew. Hope the core is burning, y'all. Hope it's feeling good. Let's go into another variation of this core work that's a little less rigid, a little bit more movement oriented, and it is sometimes referred to as cosmic abs. So here we go with cosmic abs. Courtesy, I believe that name was coined by Darren Rhodes. So here we are. We're in kind of like a boat pose-ish situation. Now I'm going to roll over to my right hip. I'm just going to start moving my arms and legs, you know. And if you want to modify here, you're like, man, I just want to chill. You just kind of put your arm on the ground and just chill. And, you know, I imagine there's got to be one of you out there, like you're doing your home practice and, you know, your cat's like messing with you and you're like, get away from me, cat. I'm trying to do some yoga. Go over to the left side. Just turn your back to the cat and let it really know, like, yo, leave me alone. I'm doing my cosmic abs. So here we are, moving the arms and the legs. You're so lucky. You've got the courtesy of being in the privacy of your own home. Go to the right hip. You can do it. I'm over here on camera in front of a bunch of peeps. Oh, man. How embarrassing. Go to the left side. Just kidding. I love this core work. Oh no, I'm falling off. Come on down, lie down on your back. And take a load off. Whew. Shavasana. Just kidding. Roll onto your side. Let's catch a little Bit of my favorite pose, Vishnu's couch, the chillest yoga pose you can do. So here in Vishnu's couch, you lay on your side and prop your head up in your hand and so I'm on my right side, so I'm gonna cue to the right. Reach your right elbow away while drawing your right shoulder back, like towards your hips. So there should be like a stretch and a containment, a balance, just like we did with the hands. And then you're trying to stack your ankles, hips, and shoulders and head all in a straight line. You bring that top arm up like this, and maybe it starts to get just a little wobbly. So it's pretty chill, but also a little wobbly. And now I'm going to take it into the splayed out Vishnu's couch variation again that I learned from Jen Wooten. So from here, flex your feet and hover your legs, and then take your top leg back, bottom leg forward. So left leg back, right leg forward, and then reach your left fingertips away from your left ankle. You could also keep your hand down to help you stabilize. Keep flexing your feet, draw your right waistline up, reach your left fingertips away from your left heel. Keeping your belly toned, kick your feet further apart, and then reach your fingertips away from your left heel. And then exhale and tone your belly. And then inhale, reach out in all directions. And start to pulse your legs up and down. Why not? Get that side body warm as can be. And when you're done, you're done. Lie down for a second. Treat yourself to a moment of relaxation. I mentioned that I'm grateful that you're here with me doing this practice. I'm holding you in my heart and I feel very close to you right now. Okay, second side. Lie down on your left side. Flex your feet, ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, head, all in one line. Reach your left elbow away while retracting your left scapula. Remember just to get that little boom, kind of vanity top arm in, Getting it all just extra chill. And then as you're ready, stabilize with your right hand, flex your feet, hover your legs, kick your top leg back and your bottom leg forward. Reach your right fingertips away from your right heel, and then lift the left side of your waist up, kick your feet further apart. Exhale, hug onto your spine. Inhale, reach your feet and your hand away from each other. One more time, stabilize the core, and then expand out from there. And then pump your feet. Ooh, almost fell over. Good. You got to be willing to make a fool of yourself in yoga, It's prerequisite. All right. Come on down. Woo. Thank you guys for motivating me. This is nice. Come on up to a nice seat. Let's release the hips in a beautiful way. I promised to release. We did a lot of building up the heat. Now's the release portion of the practice. So just kind of lean back in posted up seat mode, posted up seat pose, and then cross your right ankle onto your left thigh. And what I like to do here is, glutes, hamstring, and quad, maybe to a slightly lesser degree than before because we're releasing now, but keep a level of engagement. And then lift your chest, squeeze your shoulders back, your chest really close to your shin. All right. I've got pretty open external rotators, and so I'm one of those people that when I was, really oriented towards, I want more sensation, I want to get bigger poses, deeper into stuff, I'd be like, I don't feel this, I want more. So if you're feeling that way, wrap your arms around your shin, straighten your leg, and lift your chest into your shin. And then from here, if you want more, hold on to your outer right calf, post up with your right hand, and then you lift your left leg up and just roll onto your outer right hip and try to find a place that feels interesting. And just work it out a bit. Come on, back up. And whatever shape you're in, release. Go ahead and sit in Dandasana for a moment. So that's this pose right here. Legs straight, feet flexed, arms alongside your hips. Propping yourself up nice and tall. This is a great home-based pose to just engage, feel your center, and then let's do the second side. Post it up, leaning back. No disrespect, showing y'all the bottom of my foot. It's just the nature of the orientation of the camera. All right. Flex your left foot. Isometrically pull your heel towards your hip crease and try to get your chest, as close to your shin as feels good. It's a nice place to be. Kind of sway the hips. Feels good. And if you want to wrap your shin up in your arms, hold your beloved shin, clasp your fingers, and get proud in your chest. If you like this, stay here. If you're looking for a little pressure point vibe, post up with your left hand, roll onto your outer left hip, float. Just kind of roll around. All right. Feels nice. Come on back and release. Let's do Dandasana. So sitting up nice and tall. Flex your feet, tone your legs. And then from here, take your left sitting bone back, right sitting bone back, left sitting bone back, right sitting bone back, left sitting bone, right sitting bone back, reach up, grab your feet. Paschimottanasana, or seated forward bend. You're welcome to bend your knees. It feels nice to bend the knees. Do a little bit of glutes, little hamstrings by pressing your heels down and dragging back, and a little quads. And then kick your feet into your hands. That'll do more quad. And then as you inhale, make your spine long. And as you exhale, tone your belly and fold a little deeper. Release your feet. Roll onto your back. Hug your knees in toward your chest. And so the way we can find a little bit of belly release here is by holding onto the top of your shins. As you gently pull your shins towards you, resist with your legs and let your belly open. And now kind of open your knees out to the side and press your knees, top of your shins into your hands. A nice inner thigh stretch, groin stretch. All right, and hug in, big squeeze. Take your knees to the right, calf into your arms. And then with your right elbow, press down and away to get your left shoulder heavier on the ground. And then gaze over your left shoulder. And come on back to center. Drop your knees over to the left. Maybe shift your hips back over to the right. Press your left elbow down and away and make your right shoulder rest a little heavier on the ground. And gaze over your right shoulder. And as you invite the breath to move abundantly into you and out of you, notice where it wants to go when your belly is constricted by the twist. I would say you could invite your breath into your upper back. All right, and come on back to center. Let's end with a symmetrical pose, a little happy baby. Reach your arms in between your legs, grab the pinky edges of your feet, and shine the soles of your feet up towards the sky. And now kick up into your hands as you pull your feet down and squeeze your knees in. Press your arms out. And as you exhale, release your feet. Let your legs extend. Let your feet fall open to the sides of your mat. Perhaps rest your palms face up and alongside your body, arms, leaving space for air to circulate over your body. With each exhalation, allow your physical body to soften and relax. You could imagine that you jumped out the window of an airplane thousands of feet up in the sky. There's no ground to catch you. Falling back, eternally relaxed. Especially here, allow yourself to be breathed. Soften the skin of your brow. And deploy your attention towards that receptive aspect of consciousness. If you've stayed in Shavasana this long, nice job. I know for me it's hard to stay in Shavasana in home practice. And if you got up, I don't blame you. I probably would have gotten up as well. I want to invite you to stay resting for as long as you like. And if you'd like to begin the process of coming out, you start by deepening your breath. Move your fingers and your toes, ankles and wrists. And stretch your arms up alongside your ears. Reach your hands back. Press the soles of your feet forward. Stretch your whole body. And bend your knees and set your feet on the ground. Roll over to your right side and use your right arm as a pillow for your head. And then wherever you landed, roll a little further. And press yourself up to a nice, comfortable seat. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Inhale and release the weight of your hips heavier on the floor. Lift your heart into your hands. And exhale. Relax your shoulders. Press your hands together. Bow your head to your hands. Thank you so much for taking this time to practice with me and with each other, wherever you're at. Namaste. Thank you all so much. I'm gonna pop over here and just see what's going on. Cheers, team. Yay. What's up, Kentucky? What's up, Kate? Hi, Chris. You're still here. Feel free to comment in the chat and let me know what you'd like to see from us in terms of live streaming content. And maybe I was thinking that it might be helpful to share some info on how to create a sacred space in your home for your home practice during this time. That's one idea that I have, and I'm open to any suggestions. So, cheers, y'all. Really appreciate everyone practicing. It's great to see. Hey, Rachel, what's up? All the familiar names. This uncertain time of crisis, if you will, has its upsides too. I know that's strange to say, but I'm feeling it right now. Cheers. I'm going to close it out.